great, looking good.
Yeah.
Okay, here, get ready to rock. We're at the Junction in Cambridge. We're talking to Glenn Hughes. How are you, sir?
I'm good.
And you're on a little short UK tour at the moment, and soon you've got the Black Country Communion album, the second album, coming up very soon.
Yeah, we're very excited.
Tell us more about that.
Well, we recorded it in January, as we did the last one in the last January. The reason why we're having 2 albums in a year is because when we go out and tour this summer, we wanted to have the availability to play a lot more songs, rather than having one album then cover songs and you know. So we went in and we cut another album. And people are asking why. Well, why not? I mean, it's not like, you know, 20 years ago when it was all corporate and you've got to have many videos and you've got to have this and that. It's a different time now, and I think, you know.
In many ways, it's like going back to the 70s. In many ways, it's like make an album tour and then straight away make another album.
Purple did, Zeppelin, Sabbath. We all did an album a year, and you know, even in the 60s, the Beatles and the Stones were doing one every 10 months. So I like to write, and so we have the songs. I think you should record them.
And obviously, for the next tour, we have much more material to choose from.
A lot. I mean, and the second record is loaded with rock tracks. So it's just a bigger brother than the first album. It's got more muscle on I think, on this one. So these songs were written to play live. So we're all very excited.
So are these all brand new compositions? Are they ones that are left over? All brand new.
Brand new, absolutely brand new. Nothing is from like '09. It's all recorded. I wrote most of the album in my studio last August, September, October, and I needed some extra time. And Kevin asked me to come up with the backbones of the album, which I did, and I run it by Joe, and he was happy with what I came up with.
Excellent. And tell us, you've got a new book out on you at the moment, an autobiography.
Yeah.
Deep Purple and Beyond. Sings from a rock star. It's quite a long title, but it's...
You know, it is, you know, and when people write books, the publisher normally likes to choose the title. I had a couple of other titles which I thought were groovy, but they want to press the flesh with the Deep Purple thing, which to me, everybody knows I was in the band, but it's such a long time ago. The book is out now organically through the internet, for Ruli. Of course, it's a high-end deluxe edition, as we all know. The paperback, I'll be on Jawbone. That book will be called From Deep Purple to Black Country Communion. And that comes in October for the more, let's just say the people that want to pay a normal price, which I give the thumbs up to on that one.
And you had help in that book from Joe McIver.
Oh yeah, well Joel, like I said, Joel and I started writing the book about 5 years ago. Joel came to my home in LA and we started to write the things down, and it took about 3 years till I got really rigorously honest. I wanted to really show my ass, because everybody knows what happened to me, but there's some stuff in the book that is really personal that I could have like gone to the grave with it, but if you're going to write an autobiography, I think you've got one chance. I didn't want to leave any stone unturned or anybody to say he's lying because I saw him down.
Exactly. You don't say it, somebody else will say it.
Yeah, and the fact is, and I must say, it's none of my business what people think or say about me, because what I've done is I've shown myself, and people either can take it or leave it. But what I have done is I've been truthful. And
it is quite an open and honest account, and obviously you're known for like drug addiction. And there's like pictures in the book of you like a bloody tissue out your nose, and you have sort of laid yourself bare in this book.
Like I said, Mark, I think a lot of people can judge their own. I mean, you know, I'm not talking about other autobiographers that people have had out, my friends have got out right now. Mine is mine and theirs is theirs, and you know, some are grandiose and some leave the secrets away, and I just chose to, you know, I didn't put all super cool looking pictures of me in the book. I put pictures of me when I was overweight or wasn't my best, or I just think it's important to be rigorously honest, and I have to be that way. I mean, in order to be the man I hope to still be, I gotta be honest. So
let's sort of talk about the story of Glenn Hughes as such. You know, like you're born in Staffordshire.
Yeah.
And like your parents named you Glenn.
Yeah.
After the Glenn Miller.
Glenn Miller, yeah.
So was music a big thing in your household?
It was very big. I grew up with the sounds of Frank Sinatra, and of course, you know, in the book, he became a friend of mine, and so it was like to grow up with Frank Sinatra as being the iconic figure for my parents, and then, you know, being named after Glenn Miller, and becoming a musician and being, you know, by the Beatles, and then moving to America, then you know, of course with Deep Purple and becoming friends with Stevie Wonder and a lot of my mentors, you know, so it's kind of a wild ride really. Not a lot of people know about what I've done. I mean, they all know about the bad stuff and the chocolate addiction and stuff.
We'll get to that in a minute.
You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, I think I've done okay.
Yeah. And like you first sort of made your name with Trapeze, but before that you had a band Finders Keepers. Tell us a little bit more about them.
Well, that was a band where Mel Galley was the guitar player and I was only 15 or something, and I was playing in a band called The News on guitar. Mel said there's a spot in the band, the bass player's retiring, he wants to do something else, and he said, you want to play with me? And I said, anything to play with, I'll play anything, trombone, whatever, as long as I can play in a band with you. So I switched to playing bass, and that was fateful really. I don't know if I would have ever gone on to be a world-class guitar player, although I really enjoy playing guitar. But it was an opportunity for me to follow my karma. I really believe in fate. I believe in what is laid out for us. I believe in action. I don't really, like I said last week, I'm not really a man of words. I like to just be in action because people can talk all, you know, all the shit they want. I just like to be in action. And for a long time there, I was like off the field. I wasn't on the game, was I? So, but now you can say I'm not a sub anymore. I'm definitely in the starting 11.
I'll say you very successful Trapeze, and then you get the big call from Deep Purple.
Yeah.
Next minute you're playing in front of 200,000 fans
Yeah.
at California Jam in 1974. And what kind of an adrenaline rush was that?
Well, I'd been in the band about a year, and exactly a year actually, and we'd done Burn, and we were about to do Stormbringer, and this is when the band were new with David, and Richie, John and Ian were all probably the best friends we ever had at that, because you know the story of Gillan and Blackmore, they never really liked each other from the start. But on Burn, there was a great camaraderie, because Richie could sort of control David at that point, because he was new. And Richie and I didn't have a problem, so it was sort of like the best ever they'd got along was then. And you can see that Burn tour with that huge gig, the band was really happening. So it was a great event.
Excellent. And obviously Stormbringer came out and Richie sort of lost interest in the direction, and he sort of blamed you for that.
No, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'll take some responsibility, but they never put a gun to my head and said, you can't play that kind of music. Yeah. So when we went to Clearwell Castle for the second time, we'd been there for Burn, we went to Gloucester to Clearwell Castle for Stormbringer, for pre-production and writing. When we got there was the only thing Richie had was the song Stormbringer, the only song. Now I want you listeners and readers to remember this. When Richie came in with that song, we sort of had to really club together. I got together with David, I got together with John, and we came up with, you know, You Can't Do It Right, and Holy Man, and Love Don't Mean a Thing, and like, you know, Hold On, and stuff that would put together very quickly because we had no rock tracks, okay? And left it to my own devices, and left to David Coverdale's. If he'd left it up to me and David, the album would have been even more bluesier, you know. But Richie was still like the main guy, and you know, but he didn't have the song. Now the thing is, you know, I don't care what he says, but the fact is, he came into Stormbringer maybe with his foot off the gas. So Stormbringer was written. It was written more, you know, like me, John, and David, really, because Richie maybe was thinking about something else then.
Just sort of,
and I love the way Richie plays on Stormbringer.
He does, yeah.
I think it's fantastic. I just think it's amazing.
I think it's an all-round good performance from the band, and it's sort of, even though it's on millions, but it's quite an underrated album.
I think it's the most musical record Deep Purple, any Deep Purple have ever made. That is the most musical. For musical, people that like melody and they like songs, I think that's the best album.
Oh, definitely.
From Mark 1, 2, or 3, or 4.
And you know, to clarify, fans, there's always been this talk about the Deep Purple Mark III might be getting back together. There's talk of it. Just to tell the camera, like, it's not going to happen, is it?
You know, I've said no, and you know, if I say no, I'm a firm believer, like I said, in fate. I'm also a firm believer in not trying to make something happen unless it's supposed to happen. Let's just say that it's been put into position, you know, and our friend Drew Thompson is working behind the scenes doing stuff, but the fact of the matter is, until I get a call from him telling me it's on, it's not on. So every fan in rock wants to see one more reunion, right? They want to see one more reunion, and that would have to be Purple. I mean, I think Roger Waters and Floyd would be, and you know, and Gilmour would be wonderful. But it's the same situation there. It's like, you know, it's. I think it's an ego thing, regardless of what people think or say. It's sad. I just think, for the simple reason, as 5 men coming to the table to play a show or a DVD would be celebratory. It would be a beautiful moment. It would be like to actually clean some sides of the street that haven't been cleaned. I mean, I'm smiling because I have no other reason to do it. I think it would be great. But David and I have been trying to get it together sort of behind the scenes for about 4 years. And Lordy's sort of in there too. And there's only so much we can do.
Yeah, obviously Ian Pace is busy with the
company. Yeah, he wouldn't do it unless, you know, the
Purple
Mark 10, whatever they are, break up. But I get this question every day of my life. And, you know, it was kind of close. You know, like I said, if I say no, then it might happen.
Yeah.
Do I care? It might have got so much going on in my life that I don't need it to happen. You know.
I say in many ways, in 2011 you're more busy now than you've ever been in your life.
But because I'm the one that's I'm the most out there right now, as far as I'm in the press all the time, and I get asked this question all the time. Yeah. So people obviously calling me saying, you know, like in all the sites, oh, Glenn Hughes would like to get together with. It's not. I'm saying that because I'm here. You're asking me the question. I'm sure David answers it just the same as I do. Exactly. My dance card is busy, my love, and so is mine. So.
Yeah. And you know, go back to Stormbringer. Richard did leave. Then Come Taste the Band album, 75, Tommy Bolin come along. Yeah. You become really good friends with him. He's like,
well, you moved in my house.
Really, yeah.
The night he got the gig, we didn't make him wait like we made David wait a week. We told him the night of the audition. We told him halfway through like the second song, you know, because we knew it. I said I knew it when he put his guitar on and walked to the amp. Before he played a note, I knew the way he walked to the amplifier. He must have done something with his arm. Because I'm a big believer in the way people move and actually posture. I knew it. And he just turned around to me and he played a chord and went, "You're in. And you're coming home with me." Yeah. He stayed there for 6 weeks. And we were like, yeah, we were toxic together. We had a few parties and, you know, we may have shared the same birds or something. But Tommy was my Steven Tyler to Joe Perry. He was that, you know. But none of us knew that he was into really heavy drugs. I think he really was kind of getting into it a little bit later when the band broke up.
And I say, was it the beginning of your own personal downward spiral?
No, I think my personal downward spiral started